Continue with my speaking out loud for day 3. Okay, continue on last day 2. What is standing in your way? If you can find a path with no obstacles, it probably doesn't lead anywhere. People seldom improve when they have no other model but themselves to copy. So if you know where you are at and where you want to go, what is holding you back? It is you? Is it you? Is it your situation? Do you lack understanding or motivation? It is a combination of these. Obstacles come in many different forms, from biology, psychology, relationships, and self-created worlds. Until you set about identifying why you are where you are, there is a higher chance you will repeat the same mistake that led you to your current situation. Common obstacles. I divide obstacles that might be standing in your way into 3 categories: psychological obstacles, current situation, and money traps. As a combination or in isolation, any of these obstacles can prevent you getting ahead as fast as you might. Each roadblock needs to be identified so it can be turned into a building block. To identify psychological obstacles, you need to look inward. They include your money personality, your nature tendency around money. Don't think that because you are rational in normal life, you are rational around money, or that because you manage money as part of your job, that you will be able to manage it well in your private life. I have found little connection between the two. For example, I know many accountants who are superholics. First, your money personality. There are essentially 3 common personality. Okay. Shopper, saver, plodder. Neither a shopper or a saver. Some people fit the textbook description of one key personality, yet still have tendencies from other personality. Others may have known to take this definition to an extreme. Many people have never considered their relationship with money. It's a different type of people. To help you identify your money personality, ask yourself the following question. Do I find it easier to spend money or save money? Do I enjoy spending money? Am I rational with my money? If you are in a relationship, ask yourself the following questions. Does my partner agree with me about money matters? Are we financially compatible? For more on this subject, see Chapter 2 on money and relationships. Shoppers. Shoppers derive emotional satisfaction from spending money. They like to shop. Everybody like to shop. Some shop to feel good. Some shop to celebrate feeling good. Some shop for no reason at all. The instant satisfaction of buying something motivates them. I am probably a shopper. Me too. One of my favorite pastimes, one of my favorite pastimes is spending money. My best weekends have involved illicit trips to Sydney or Melbourne for a quick fix. The more money I earned, the easier I found it to rationalize my spending. The more I earned, the more generous I became with myself and with others. A shopper doesn't always have to spend large amount of money. Some feel it is their entitlement to spend money, so they do. It is common for this type of personality to work in high-stress jobs where a quick fix purchase can buy instant reward or help them to keep working hard, really. Shoppers are often time poor and will happily pay for convenience. Controlled shoppers or bargain shoppers disguise their tendencies from themselves as they spend very little on day-to-day basis. But when it comes to one-off purchases, often around technology or toys, they hold nothing back. Someone who can be very tight on day-to-day basis, like my Scottish husband, will buy the best a big-ticket item once they decide they want to buy something. This can be quite common in a male who is not as engaged in the running of a household. Generally, he may not spend much on himself, but when he decides he wants to buy toys, he will happily go ahead and spending a large amount without any qualms. Some people spend on their children. What the hell? Some people spend on their children or their house and don't attach the same personality or guilt they might have if they spend the same amount of money on something for themselves. Wait, say it again. Some people spend on their children or their house and don't attach the same responsibility or guilt they might have if they spend the same amount of money on something for themselves. If you cannot afford to spend money, even if it's for a righteous individual, you cannot afford to spend it. Not everyone is a shopper all of the time. Yet, overall shoppers find it easier to spend money than save it. Subcategories of shoppers include comfort shopper, and the binger. Bingers are created by nature tendency or by circumstance. People who are self-employed or have an irregular income are more used to a feast of famine lifestyle. When there is no money, they stop spending, but when the money is coming thick and fast, usually from a big lump sum payment, they spend as there is no tomorrow. The nature tendencies of a binger is to be able to successfully save for something. But in the absence of a clear goal, they are more inclined to spend their money on stuff, or they save and they splurge, sometimes spending more than what they have saved. Comfort shoppers. A comfort shopper is just that. Some people eat food to derive comfort. Some people shop. If you derive emotional satisfaction from the goods you buy or the process of purchasing them, then you might be a comfort shopper. You do not have to enjoy buying all things to be guilty of this pleasure. Either just some is enough to be classified a comfort shopper. Money spent is money spent. Next categories. Saver. Savers derive more satisfaction from saving than spending. Generally, they take little joy from spending money. They are quite happy to go without and have natural subconscious about money. A saver does not need to be industrious, just tight. Some cultures tend to be towards saving. For example, the Scottish and the Dutch. A Jewish client of mine said that he derives satisfaction from seeing his bank account grow. It gives you a small thrill. Me too. It is not enough for him to not spend. He wants to see his wealth grow. On the other hand, his European wife seems to get a similar thrill when she grooms her very expensive animals. Interestingly enough, in this relationship, there were no arguments around money, but a general acceptance that things could be done better. They just needed to find out what to do so that they both got what they needed and could reach the perfect balance faster. A lot of people incorrectly diagnose themselves as savers, when it is more appropriate to say that they are tight on day-to-day basis when it comes to buying something they like or spending money on their hobbies. However, they happily make a large lump sum payments. Often, those big lump sum payments equal and at times overweight the small but frequent amount their partners may have spent, even though they consider themselves more of a saver than their partners. A lot of people have saved historically or have saved for an event, for example, a wedding, and may therefore consider themselves savers. Using an analogy of fitness, being fit at some stage in your life doesn't mean that you can run a marathon right now. To be called a saver or a non-spender, saving must be natural tendency and not take conscious effort. Who does that? Plotters are ambivalent about spending and saving. They take things as they come and have an expectation that if they keep doing what they are currently doing, they should be okay. Typically, they will be okay while they are working, but plotters are an enjoyable retirement do not often go together. If you do not identify with the traits of the other personalities, it is likely you are a plotter. Personality combinations. Money is powerful force in Money is a powerful force in intimate relationships. In intimate relationships. Okay, let me read all over again. Money is a powerful force in intimate relationships. Because whether you have a lot of money or little money, you never escape it. It's rich. It's rich. Although it can help to have similar money personalities, this is seldom. People don't use seldom anymore. This is seldom the case, or a guarantee to success. Just as we have our quirks around money, so there's our partner. With these differences, niggers tend to appear. I am not sure if someone had an opinion on this, but I have found that opposites seem to attract when it comes to money personalities. Or perhaps it is more correct to say that a couple could be allied in their ambitions, worldview, relation, and basic life philosophy, yet might not consider the alignment of their money attitudes being I feel unified. Oh my goodness. Being unified on many core beliefs has no direct bearing on aligning your money matters. Ironically, money is seldom discussed during the get-to-know-you stage in a relationship, yet it's one of the most common reasons why relationships end. More often than not, the shoppers almost inherently falls for the savers, neither properly aware of the other's money tendency at the time they're falling in love. Okay. This creates a dynamic all in itself. A shopper married to a shopper. Well, that can be a receipt for disaster. Or you may share your own relationship diagnosis, where you are both hands-off about money. Whatever form your relationship's money dynamic takes, I have found that the money dynamic in a relationship almost inherently lead to elevated emotion. If left untreated, it will inevitably become the elephant in the room. When it is not talked about, that elephant will affect your financial success and probably your relationship. The shopper combination is always fun. They are having a good time but not going far financially. It can be dangerous combination as both tend to be in denial about their individual and combined levels of spending. They happily justify their own for each other's spending. They do not say no. There may be an underlying awareness that financially progress is not being made, but it is not of interest to either party to raise this issue. It is not uncommon for a shopper to be earning good money but spending it all and more. The saver combination is rare. However, much like the shopper combo, it makes for comfort and compatibility. You might be getting ahead, But are you getting ahead fast enough, or could you do it better? The shopper-saver combination, though common, can be also frustrating. One partner is trying to get ahead, and the other is spending. Generally, the good savings of one is cancelled out by the bad spending of the other, and overall they are making little to no progress. A niggle around finances, if not addressed, can become a bigger problem than it should be. Oh, that's enough. I'm too tired.